Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Butter too. What's up? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I am your media host, Tamara Payton. People call me T. So if you see me around, you can just call me T. Don't worry about Tamara because, we're friends, right? And my friends call me T, right? So I am super excited to be your media host for the weekend. We are going to be up here all day, today, tomorrow, and Sunday, interviewing artists and guests and friends of Butter. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. If you can, please always have your schedule with you because we're going to have all different kinds of people that we're going to be interviewing. We're going to have a good time. Are you guys ready for a good time? I can't hear you. Are you ready for a good time? Oh my goodness, all this beautiful black art, all these beautiful people of all shades, shapes, and sizes. I feel at home up here, so I'm excited. So our first guest is very, very special. I've been reading about you, and I was so impressed. I didn't get a chance to visit the Long Sharp Gallery, but you're all over my feed. And I just want to introduce our first guest, and I'm only going to say your name short because I don't want to mess it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Moyo.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
So, I have literally seen you all over my feed this weekend. Congratulations for your art being featured at Long Sharp Gallery. That's amazing.
Thank
But I want to ask you first, number one, what do you think about Indianapolis? This is your first time here, your first time at Butter. So what do you think about our little city?
I think it's amazing. It's warm, calm, collected. I kind of like it. Compared to New York, it's kind of calm.
Yeah, it's way calmer because you're from the Bronx, correct? You have a place in the Bronx?
Oh, my studio is in the Bronx,
No.
but I live in Harlem.
You live in Harlem. Ooh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So my first question would be for you. I read that you were raised in Nigeria.
Yes.
So what was that like growing up in Nigeria? You were raised around all these colors and beautiful people. So what was it like growing up there? And tell us how that influenced your art. Is that a long question?
No, it's not. Growing up in Nigeria is amazing. It was one of the best experiences that solidify my point of view as a person. Gave me like a sense of direction to what I'm meant to do. And growing up in Nigeria got me more open, understanding different people's perspectives and views, because Nigeria has like 250 tribes and everything, so there's a lot to learn, So, and I just come from a tribe, just one of it, so yeah. And with the colors and everything, yeah, so the colors has a lot to do with the culture, tradition, food, vegetations and everything. So it's just like a fusion of all, like, yeah.
Beautiful. So I noticed all your work is large. What I was like, wow, everything is really large. So what is the idea or the inspiration about working so large or your scale?
I wouldn't say all my works are large because I do have like small pieces or like studies or whatever. So it depends on the mood or it depends on what you're trying to project, the message and what you have going at that moment, So I just tend to manipulate or, just project the messages through the canvases, and that's it. I mean, the bigger the canvas, the more message you have to convey. So that's it.
Wow. So you said whatever the mood is. So how is it that you start the process of a painting? Is there some way do you have to get in a certain space, or what is the thought process when you need to start something?
Uh, starting a painting, an art, to me, an artist just needs to do the work, you know. So the process has to do with the environment, my studio layout, my mental space, and whatever I'm trying to project. You know, I'm usually by myself, so my canvases are like a way of me venting, you know. So that makes sense, right? Yeah. So and the process is just natural, you know. I don't get to overthink the idea or trying to make something extremely flamboyant, you know. It's just has to center around the message, you know.
So this might be a silly question, but how do you know when it's finished? How do you know when it's ready for you to present to everyone?
Honestly, so it used to be never finished, you know, because I always wanted to like go do more, do more. I mean, with time, I just started having like a sense of content, you know, with the paintings. And if I don't have that feeling of content, I get to start again. You know, regarding how much materials or canvases or the time being spent. So yeah.
So have your parents or your family support system, have they always been encouraging of you becoming who you are?
Not really. Um, Growing up, my dad wanted me to be an architect. So I went to school for architecture for a while, and I dropped out because it was like too much maths and too much geography and statistics. So the painting part of it wasn't coming. So I was like impatient. So I dropped out. So I enrolled again to another college for photojournalism. I dropped out as well. So I was like the black sheep, you know, Moyo this, Moyo that. So I eventually went to Ghana where I studied computer science. So, and that was a little bit artistic. I like that. And I mean, they've never seen the need to be an artist. It wasn't even part of the conversation, you know. So, but I knew what I was good at because that was the only thing I could do, and I was just keen to it.
So when did you decide I'm going to become this artist and it's going to be what I do full time? When did that happen?
When that happened was when I finally migrated down to the United States. You know, when I had no uh, people to put me in a box or like trying to place me in a label, you know. So for the first time, I felt like finally free, you know. So I just kept doing it.
That was going to be my next question. What is freedom to you?
To me, freedom is that's a very deep question.
You started it.
Freedom to me is when I can satisfy the voice in my head, you know, and that gives me like a sense of content, you know, because you could be free and not free,
True.
you know,
True.
so
True. Do you mind if we take a couple questions from the audience? I know you have to go. You have to catch a plane. Do you mind if we take some questions?
Why not?
Does anyone have questions before we wrap up? Okay, so do you have anything that you would like for people to go see, or do you have anything coming up, or how can people keep in contact with you and your art?
My works, they could check my works at the Long Shop Gallery, or people could check my works out on my Instagram page. I have some few pieces on there, and what my studio looks like, the setup or whatever, or like you said, the process and making the pieces. So I try as much as possible to document the pieces so I could carry people along to know what to expect or wherever, because change, people are kind of like not used to change, so it's a funny thing. So yeah, and they could check for my agent, Traffic Arts in New York as well.
Okay. So follow him on Instagram if you want to see. I was stalking your Instagram. I did. I admit. Last question. You are so fly. Like I love your style. Just what is your style like? What would you say your vibe is? Your fashion. Got these Louis Vuitton shades on. I'm like, go ahead.
I mean, fashion and style is a personal thing.
True.
So I just wear what suits my silhouette, like I'm skinny and everything. So I just tend to wear things that, look good on me, and I feel comfortable, doing it. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come with us. I know you're so busy,
Thank
so I
you
really,
so
really
much.
appreciate it. You guys, give it up. Give it up, give it up. His painting, I think it's right over there if you want to go check him out. He does have a piece here.
Thank
and
you
also
so much.
Long Sharp is in Conrad, right? The
Yes,
Conrad.
please.
So if you want to see more of his work, you can go into the Conrad Hotel, and he's in the Long Sharp Gallery. So I can't wait to get over there to check it out. Thank you so much again, and safe travels to you. Okay, all right, thank you. I'm gonna get a picture.